Brace yourselves, commanders, because there is a new red terror stalking the seas. Communist boats! A new line of Soviet destroyers. Hello, I am Xarkun, and this is World of Warships Legends. Today we're going to be taking a brief look at the Tier 6 Soviet tech tree destroyer, Kiev. A new destroyer in the alternate line of Soviet destroyers, somewhere between a gunboat and a torpedo boat. It's an interesting ship. I've seen some mixed reviews or mixed reactions to it, and this video is not really going to be a review of the ship. I haven't really played it enough, I don't think, to give it a fair shake, but first impressions on the thing are I kind of like it. Although I think I might honestly prefer the Minsk a little bit more, because this thing is just kind of odd. So on the one hand, it has 6 guns. You can see them situated in 3 double turrets, 2 super firing on the front and 1 on the rear. Basically the same turret setup as the Tier 7 Tashkent, and I think the same turret setup as the new Tier 7 Soviet destroyer Udaloy, which is not right now available in the game, but it will become available during the next update. So it's got a lot of firepower with 6 guns. That's 1 more gun than your typical Tier 6 or even Tier 7 destroyer has. Most of them have 5 guns, but you get 1 extra, so there's that. Now the downside to these guns is they reload in 7.5 seconds at base, if I do recall correctly, which I think I do. So it's a pretty slow reload. Pretty akin to the Japanese torpedo boat reload time, actually. Although, thankfully, these have much quicker turret traverse, although I wouldn't call it fast turret traverse. It's quick enough to be manageable, but it's not all that fast at all. And maybe the reload isn't quite 7.5 seconds. I might have cut that down somehow with my commander build here. Looks like it's just about 7 seconds. So I've got it cut down in some way. Now that kind of slower reload is going to make it difficult if you run into a dedicated gunboat in this, which you absolutely might do. You might find a Kidd or a Benson or Fletcher, Akizuki. Any of those, they're probably going to rip this thing a new one. But anything with a similar or slower reload to this, well, it's going to put up a pretty good gunfight versus it. Plus, it comes with 2 repair parties, 2 heals, making it kind of unique amongst destroyers. Not many of them do have heals. And as you can see, it does have a pretty shallow hit points pool. I've got the hit points up to 15,420. I know, pretty dank number, but that is only achieved with William Sims as an inspiration. Without Sims, I think the base hit points pool is like 13.5k, which is quite low. So the heals are there as sort of a compensation for that shallow hit points pool. And let's talk about these torpedoes, which, as you can see, I'm launching them at a York, coming around this corner a little bit recklessly, far too close to that enemy cruiser. We're going to have to, in fact, smoke up to cut his line of sight. Luckily, the torpedoes are on target, and 2 of them are going to strike the York. Not enough to kill him, but enough to make him hurt, and we still have the 1 launcher left over. I think also this thing has a secondary gun, too. I don't know what that was, if not a secondary gun firing at that York. The York has disappeared, of course. He's turning around. He is within sonar range of us, so I'm not sure why he's not using it. But you can see as I shoot him here that these guns, even though they do have a slow reload, the Alpha Strike's pretty good. They do some nice damage. Unfortunately, we're going to miss the York with our torpedo. No, we're not. Actually, we kill him with one of the torpedoes. I thought they were all going to miss. And another torpedo from that same volley smacks the King George straight in the nose, causing a flooding. So that's good. If we can start a fire on him, then that'll be a permanent fire. And there it is. RNG complies with us for once. So now we can move away a little bit. We don't want this King George to push into us. Potentially, he could delete us with a single salvo of HE, and that's what we're looking to avoid. But we've secured the cap, and the torpedoes from the first torpedo launcher are about, yeah, they're up right now. King George is reversing away, though. He doesn't want to push into any more torpedoes, possibly a wise decision on his part. So we're just going to sit here and gun him down a little bit. Now, as far as the guns go, I'd say this boat is somewhere between a hybrid torpedo gunboat. It's not a dedicated gunboat like, say, the Minsk, which, frankly, on that ship, only the guns are usable. They've got a decent range for a Tier 6 destroyer. They go out past 11 kilometers, I would say. And I'm pretty sure you can get these guns firing out past 11 kilometers as well. They just don't have the fastest reload. You can use them, though, obviously, to start fires, do a little bit of HE penetration damage here and there. And then the torpedoes, they range out to 8 kilometers, which isn't the longest range, but it's certainly a usable range, and you can fire them from stealth, unlike the main line of Soviet destroyers, none of which can fire their torpedoes from stealth until you get to the Tashkent at Tier 7. Another torpedo hit there on the King George, by the way. These torpedoes do decent damage. I can't remember exactly what the Alpha Strike is, but it's not super anemic. It's also not super strong. This is just, you know, kind of your classic hybrid gunboat / torpedo boat destroyer, only with a Soviet flavor. And frankly, I think it's promising. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how the Udaloy will play. And I can tell you that I looked up some videos that Flamu has done on that particular ship, and he does call it a gunboat in those videos. We'll see how much of a gunboat it is in World of Warships Legends once it debuts. King George, nearly dead. We're going to secure that kill with that shot there. After all, why not? I think we did the lion's share of damage to him. And just like that, this game is pretty much wrapped up, honestly. There's not a lot the enemy team can do. They are down 2 ships compared to us. Apparently their aircraft carrier has been harassing our friendly North Carolina, who gets the Clear Skies medal there, so good for him. And, you know, we're moving toward the Bravo Cap now as this King George runs away. And the enemy cruiser over there as well, also moving toward the Bravo Cap. But our team has reached 920 points, and it looks like we're not really going to have much of a chance to do anything else. Now, if you want to see a full review of mine for this ship or any of the other destroyers in this new Russian line, let me know. Of course, as a community contributor, Wargaming provided me and my colleagues with some of these Soviet destroyer crates, and I was just lucky enough to get all 3 of the early access destroyers out of those crates. So I've got them all. I could potentially review them for you if you guys wanted to see them, but I wanted to put this game up as, you know, just a quick talk about this destroyer and a small demonstration of what it's capable of, because I think this was a pretty good game on my part, and I think it gives you an idea of what you can expect from these higher tier alternate Soviet destroyers. I think the ship is honestly pretty good, and I will be playing it a little bit more, actually a lot more. I'm going to grind it so that I can get the Udaloy on day 1 of the next update. So maybe I'll have more thoughts on it in the future. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts for today. If so, give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.